Hi there, Shelby Collins here with another video, and not sure what the title, I'm not sure either. Let me see. I feel like this is kind of lopsided and I don't know what to do about that. Well, that seems better. Well, if it is, it is. So, what to say? It's a little, no, I guess it's about the same type of time now that I recorded the last video. Many days later, I actually don't know how many days ago um, it was that I recorded the most recent video. And I'm still out there on that abyss of not knowing what I'm doing. I am, however, trying to embrace the fact that I know this is part of my test, if you will. Because although I would not have classified myself as this previously, I would say that after some self-reflection, I would say I used to be a bit of a control freak. Control freak in the sense of the meaning that I kind of had to always know the outcome. Now, let me preface this by saying that I always felt and always did, if I'm kind of on it, not always, but I did kind of believe that 100% of the time I could control the outcome. And I think in a lot of instances I did. Now, whether or not that was just supposed to be the way it all unfolded anyway, I don't know. But there obviously have been events, big events in my life, right? One of which was obviously, like, if we go way back to the beginning, like getting pregnant with my son, that was not planned, always wanted, but not planned. I have had big things like that happen where I didn't think about that, plan that. Um, and and so it's not true that I've been able to control the outcomes on everything. I think I thought that was kind of true until I blew up shit so bad. Because I don't know, right? That I I didn't plan that. Okay, even though I did that, and like I mentioned in the last video, um, I had more than one opportunity to potentially change the outcomes, right? We just don't know. And with me, because I'm so, the word is conditioned to deal with a lot, right? So whereas somebody else might say, this is sucking and I'm not going to keep doing this, I tend to hang on like another 2 or 3 years past that. Like I have this totally fucked up ability to suffer, right? Where it's like, I don't know if I feel like I'm supposed to, or if it's a past life. I mean, I've done a lot of clearing, but if you put me up against just about anybody you know, and we start comparing notes on, sucky things happening, I'll have you beat like circle around circle, right? So I definitely would think that looking back on this self-reflection, like I put up with a lot before I'm before I let up on myself. And so I'm trying, even though I don't want to a lot of the time, I'm being made to. So I'm embracing it as best I can to relearn that, right? That life doesn't have to be so goddamn hard. And I can't tell you just how hard my life has been, like literally from birth. Like birth, I almost died. Ask my birth parents, and they'll tell you this, story about how my birth mother almost passed away, and so, my birth father had to choose between me or his wife, which one lived, because, it was that horrible. And I think the cord was wrapped around my neck. And of course, when the doctor said, which life do you want to save? He said, I chose my wife because I could always make another baby, but I couldn't make another wife. And why anybody would ever relay that information to any other human, let alone that child, I don't know, but they did. And so there is this part of me, I really think, that kind of has always like felt that I deserved a lot of not goodness. So, like I said, when somebody else would be like, I'm done with this, I'm like, oh no, we're just getting started. I can put up with way more torture and suffering than this. Like, this is kid level suffering. And so, it's like, oh wow, it's very interesting. And then you take that and you compound it with the fact that I was a psychology major. And so I can, you know, process it in a myriad of different ways. You just never kind of deal with the fact that, you've been kind of trained, self-trained, albeit, right, because we all have choices, but self-trained into a lot of suffering. And so it's not as easy as I thought it would be to not do that. Right? Even when you blow shit up, you would think, "Oh my God, well, now that you've blown everything up, life's got to be so much easier because you blew everything up." And it's like, see, that's the thing. It's not any easier. Right? It kind of goes back to that whole premise that wherever you are, there you are. You know what I mean? Like you take yourself with you wherever you go. So it's not like, oh, okay, just move to a new place and all your problems go away, or just move, just dump that relationship and, or that husband, or, you know, again, you're still the same person. So there will be another person, another experience, another cycle, and it always comes back in later days in uglier ways. And so that's one of the revelations that I've really been having, is that, wow, I put up with a lot. And I'm not. And I do a lot, and I'm not doing that either. And so I don't know how to not do. But the doing has not done it for me anyway. Maybe there's a lot of other human doers out there, but I'm a human being, and the human doingness has really not only bit me in the ass, but punched me in the face, stabbed me in the gut, hit me on the back of the head, kicked me in the ass, and spit on me when I was down. So I don't think the doing works for me. Now, that's all I can say about that for right now. But the more I try, the less it works. So I'm done trying. What that means, I don't know. Literally. Like last time it was nanosecond to nanosecond. Now it's like second to second. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I don't know. I do know that I get the feeling that my time at this place is drawing to a close. And I have negative 1,086 idea of where the next spot is. So I just know, like I said, that my controlling of the outcome, controlling, which really, if we're honest, is the fucking it all up, getting in the way, slowing it all down, what really would be way better if you just step the hell out of the way. Let's just say that my controlling things has not worked. And so I had a really direct conversation with myself last night at about 8:45 p.m. And I said, not doing this anymore. What that means, I have no idea. None. Because my whole motto in life was, if it's to be, it's up to me. And it always has been. It's like life, if I'm honest, it's like life said, you know, bitch, you've mastered that game that way, and so now there's new rules. And I cannot even finish the frickin' fucking test, let alone get a good grade. Like I can't even. I have never sucked at life so bad in all my life. Seriously, my whole entire life thus far, I have never sucked at life so bad as I do right now. Sucking in the terms of I have no idea what I'm doing. Any other period in my life thus far, there was a plan, there was a list of goals, a list. Okay, I had more than one list. I had a list of the things I needed to do today, the kind of short term list, like, you know, not today, but tomorrow or the next day. And then I had a list of like, not today, tomorrow, or the next day, but like by the end of the month, quarter, year. You know what I'm saying? Like I was listed out. And if you listened to me for any length at all, you would have heard at least me say once that those were magic lists. Like anything I put on those lists happened. And that was true up until, you know, 6 months or a year ago. And like a year ago, it started to become not true. And I kind of thought, this is so crazy. Like, it can't possibly not be true. And then about 6 months ago, it was like, God, this really doesn't seem like it works anymore. Like, it's got to be something screwed up out there. There's no way this has anything to do with me. And then about 3 months ago, it was, okay, this definitely must have something to do with me. Okay. And then it became about a month ago, like, holy fuck, this has everything to do with me, and I have no idea how to avoid the complete abomination of my life. To today, which is, it's so embalmed and so blown up. My ear is ringing so loud right now. So loud. I'm just going to throw this out there because I'm feeling inspired to say it. Oh my God, it's ringing. So loud. Okay, it just stopped. Whew. When I was a kid, every once in a while we'd go to this mall in Connecticut. That's where I grew up. And whenever we'd walk through Sears, that was the store, okay? And I think, if I recollect correctly, it was one of these where we parked like in the Sears parking lot, and then you'd walk in through Sears and then go into the mall. It wasn't, at least back in those days, there was a mall entrance, but we never parked near the mall entrance. We always parked by the Sears and went in through the Sears and exited through the Sears. Like that was the place my parents wanted to make sure we checked out. So we always walked in and out of the mall through Sears. And every time we would walk into the mall, bing, there would be this high pitch. And I would say to them, "Do you hear the high pitch?" And they'd be like, "No, I don't hear the high pitch. I don't hear the high pitch." And I'm like, "How the hell do you not hear that high pitch?" And then I remember at a lake place, I was driving a golf cart one year, and I'm driving by this one house, and I hear that high pitch. And I know the guy that owns the house, and it's like one of these triangular shaped cabin type things. And I say to him, "You've got something in here that makes a really high pitched sound." And he looks at me like completely astonished, and he goes, "Yes, I do." And I said, "I'd like to know what it is because it's really piercing my ears. Every time I drive by here, every time I walk by here." And again, he's kind of looking at me like, he goes, "It's a bat. It puts out a bat sound. So bats won't, try to make a home in the odd shape of his place." And I was like, "Oh, interesting." So it's like I hear way more frequencies than just normal ears. That or the aliens, which if this is the case, beam me up. I am so ready. There. If I go, it's the aliens. Okay? Because we ain't alone on this earth. Beam me up. ET phone home. ET phone home. Ready. I would be so ready. This would be the time in the story, in the movie, in the book where bitch would want to be phoned home. Okay? Ready. Phone me home. Yes, ready. But, like I was saying, I have no idea what I'm doing for any kind of anything, really. I'm really in this wait and see. It's up to anybody but me. Completely different. Maybe you can hear that song. Somebody walking by with a radio. Jumping with you. I don't know if you can hear that. It's literally like right out the door. Hopefully no one knocks. Anything is possible. It's only 10:31. So, this is one of these, if you're watching this, maybe this is something that you need to do too, which is give up the friggin' control, okay? Because, it takes a bigger person to kind of say, "You know what, I'm the one screwing up this frickin' show, and I feel like I'm really screwing up this show." So much so that I'm kind of like frozen in place. Almost borderline not trusting myself to really know which way to go. Like I have to literally have a frickin' smoke signal, bird show up with a letter in its foot. Blatant freaking signs. Because I'm a little hesitant to be like, "Oh yeah, I know." Because I feel like I don't fucking know a damn thing. A damn thing. And another thing that I would have thought 3 weeks ago is that I would have known by now that, if somebody would have said, "Okay, we're going to blow up your whole life, Shelby," would I have been like, "Oh my God." But then they said, "Okay, we blow it all up." How long before you think you can make sense out of it? And I sure as shit would not have even guesstimated in a trillion friggin' years, choices, thought processes, frickin' anything would I have thought it would have taken this long. Like, this has taken 10 times longer than what I would have thought. Like 10 friggin' times. And I'm no closer than I was the very first day. Other than, I mean, I guess I should take credit where credit is due. Other than the fact that I know I'm not going to be the one to figure out this fucking mess. Not me and my ego self, right? The higher part of myself, yes. And the higher part of myself, I don't know where she is. She on vacation somewhere else right now. Maybe she'd be like, bitch, this is just too big a problem. Maybe you can hear them moving their furniture next door. Sometimes things break, 1 o'clock in the morning, somebody drops something. It was fun because then everybody had to get up too over there. Oh my gosh. At any rate, I'm very grateful that we have a roof over our head for another night. With that being said, I know it's not like I know anything else more than the last time, other than if shit's not going well, and I've always known this. It's just for me, like I said, I have to make such huge messes, so big that I then know I can't fix them, and then I surrender. And so now I'm at that. I really thought I had already surrendered. Like, I already thought I had waved the white flag, like I said, like weeks ago. And now I've thrown the frickin' flag. Like, I'm not even holding up the flag anymore. Whatever that means. So this will be interesting because I've never, ever, 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 ever thought I would be in this place. Have I ever been this low of a place, i.e. this big of a mess, i.e. this, I mean, just no possible way my mortal brain can comprehend a path out. There just ain't shit kickers tall enough. There ain't waiters tall enough. There's not a manure pile small enough at this point. You know what I mean? Like, so we'll see, because like I said, I really, if my Mary Poppinness, I've always said that to people. I'm like Mary Poppins, I stay until the wind changes. And I feel like the wind is starting to change here. And again, I don't know what that means. I really don't know what that means. I don't know. And I'm just going to say, for posterity's sake, that I think I'm excited to know. I think. With that, I hope things are great in your world. And we'll see you on the next video.